What's up, everybody? Hello. Look at this fancy background. Look at this. Look at this excitement. This very nice division of like, there's too much light over here, and then it's like, oh, what could be over there? A mysterious black hole? Who knows? I don't know. It probably just stuff gets just disappeared in there. Welcome to Seattle. I am in Seattle, Washington right now on a trip, having a great time. And part of that great time is one, stretching my arms back as far as possible to really get the muscles stretched because I've been using them a lot. You know, you got to keep the guns ready to roll at all times. But two, part of it is going out and finding cool stuff. Yesterday, I actually went to Shake Shack, which is a place that I'd never been to. Got lost, took some weird photos. It was a good time. Weird as in silly, not weird as in like, why did you take that? That certainly should put you on a list of some kind. But I was reminded of how much, like, not only do I enjoy Seattle, but just how much, like, I enjoy traveling and just, like, wandering around places and finding things that are, like, of interest to me. Case in point, the Beeb, she loves Ujimaya's, which is a big grocery store down in the Chinatown slash international district, and has all kinds of different stuff you'll be seeing in future episodes of Taste Test. So be sure to scroll down, subscribe, ring the bell. That way you're notified when they post every Saturday. So you're going to get like a whole April, basically, of travel stuff, I guess, is a way to put that. But while we were there, we were at Ujimaya's, and I found a couple of chocolate bars from a place that I had never heard of before. I don't think these are not imports from anywhere. These are just like regular chocolate bars that you can find around this particular area. So it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but we do have a couple of fun flavors to try today, and we are going to try cookie dough, bam, and the one that I'm really excited about, the one that I bought first, actually, PB&J sandwich. I'm a big fan of the Trader Joe's peanut butter and jelly chocolate bar. The only reason I would ever need to go to a Trader Joe's, kind of like the only reason I would ever go to a Cabela's, is to get their orange slices. That's how I feel about peanut butter and jelly bars and Trader Joe's. Those are on equal footing. I'm not there for your hunting gear, okay? Stop trying to upsell me on sunglasses. I bought 4 bags of orange slices last time. I'm going to buy 5 bags of orange slices this time because they didn't last long enough. That's the plan. That's the mumbo jumbo. Don't point me in the hunting direction. I don't care. All right? I'm here for sugary sweets. So I found these, and I have seen the Hammonds around the area and just kind of randomly. But these I only saw at Ujimaya's. Of course, I haven't walked around like a ton. I've been walking around the area that we've been staying. It's nice. There's like a lot of restaurants and stuff like that. Everything, here's the problem. And this is a problem with me. It's not a problem with anything other than myself. Everything here is way too fancy. Way too fancy. We went and got pizza. I was looking at the ingredients. They're putting all these things on that I can't pronounce, which means that I probably am not going to like them because it's scary, you know. I am a very picky, very plain eater. And there's nothing that could be less, like, beneficial, I guess. There's a different word that I want to use, but, like, everything. I keep looking at stuff, and I'm like, oh, it looks too fancy. Why are you doing this? These plates are decorated in a way that look like they would be on Food Network, not like me just being like, throw burger in bag, make mess. So there you go. So I've been having fun walking around and doing all that sort of stuff. That sounded like a bad comedy bit transition. So, yeah. I guess we'll just kind of jump in here. And that's right, you know, content, it just doesn't stop. In fact, I got additional content. I have so much content to do with all the stuff that I keep finding and just buying like little bits and pieces of here and there. Let's start with the cookie dough. These are milk chocolate with cookie dough filling. That is a very important note, is that they are milk chocolate. Both of these are milk chocolate. Not the biggest fan of white chocolate or dark chocolate. Milk chocolate, bam, that's where it is. That's what I want. That's where it's at. So let's crack into this one. I wonder if it says on the back here. Oh, Hammond's Candies, Denver, Colorado. Okay. All right. These aren't like new or anything. These are just things that I found interesting because I like fun variants of things that I already kind of understand, you know? You'll get what I mean if you subscribe and make sure that you check out other videos. So we'll break off a nice chunk. Break me off a piece of that Hammond's bar. I did not break that very well. Idiot, have you ever broken a candy bar in your life? The piece should be a little bit taller than that, but that's kind of what we're working with. There's a tan-esque color there in the middle that we'll try. Getting a lot of the chocolate, not a whole lot of like cookie dough scent off the bat, but that's okay. I will say, I don't eat a lot of cookie dough, except for, thank God I remember this story. Except for one like Valentine's Day, I decided to be the most obnoxious version of myself that I could be, where basically in high school, on like Wednesdays and Thursdays, the class schedule was like a little bit different. Like a Monday, Tuesday, Friday was like you'd start at 7:45 or whatever and then end at 2:30. That was basically like the gist of it. And you go to 6 different classes throughout your day, and that was how it worked. That was like a typical high school day and even middle school day, doing that sort of thing. On Wednesdays and Thursdays, though, they changed it up a little bit. And so basically you would take the bus in, and then you would get there at the same time that the classes would normally start. So like that 7:30, 7:45 window, whatever it is. But your first class wouldn't start until like 9, 8:59, something like that. So there was a lot of time to just kind of hang out. And the idea was, not that any of the teenagers were going to take advantage of it. The idea was that you would go in and you would study and like get help from teachers and like improve yourself. But instead, what I ended up doing one Valentine's Day is, because it was an open campus, I decided that I was going to be that guy, like that single guy on Valentine's Day, and go find like a romantic comedy and cookie dough, because that's what I thought was funny when I was like 15. And then I would eat that. And that was like my joke. The joke ran for the whole day. The whole day. Here's the worst part of this. I bought cookie dough at like 8 o'clock in the morning, because where the school was and like a grocery store, I could walk back and forth or take the bus, which is probably more what I did. But you can get to and from within the time frame and then just go back and do your normal stuff. So if you wanted like energy drinks or whatever, in my case, cookie dough, I bought that so early in the day, and you're like already not supposed to eat that. So imagine it sitting in a locker in a high school for like 8 hours or 6 hours or whatever the number is. Maybe should have used those study halls a little more advantageously, considering that I don't know what the difference between 8 a.m. and 2:30 is. It's 6.5 hours. Don't know why it took me so long to figure that out. So then I took it home. I think I had youth group that night, and I continued the joke all the way through like the entire day, because boy, if there's one thing I'm good at, it's taking a joke that's not funny to anyone but me and just like pounding it into the ground as like hard as I can. And so I ate like a bunch of it, and I remember people being like, you really shouldn't be eating that. And then I'd be like, oh yeah, here's the best part. It's been in my locker since like 8:30, so it's like even more nauseous, nauseating. It's like worse. So that would be my experience with cookie dough. Forgot why I started telling that story. I don't get that from this. I get a lot of the chocolate. I don't think cookie dough itself is like the most like pungent flavor or like potent flavor. I don't get a ton of it. I get just a lot of the chocolate. We'll try another bite here. Another little chunk of the bar. I guess that's just like a look in the life of a young Shawnosaurus Rex as he took a bite before he finished his sentence. Good. I mean, it's there. I mean, it's okay. Here's the great news. I really enjoy the chocolate, the milk chocolate they have here going on. Really excited for the peanut butter and jelly chocolate bar that we're going to try here in just a moment. Very excited for that. This one, not really doing it for me. Not really doing it. I had an item on the show recently, or maybe in the future, depending on like when this goes up and how the other stuff goes up, and it's weird because I like it, but I don't think it's very good with what it's going for, sort of thing, you know? Yeah, I think this is worth a try, even if I'm not super wild or getting super wild about or getting the cookie dough flavor. I think this is absolutely worth trying, even just for the chocolate itself. Maybe you have a different palate than I do, or a better palate than I do. You might get a little more out of this than I'm getting out of it. But this is a one where I think it's not great at what it's going for. I don't think it quite hits what it's achieving. But the bar itself is like so good that it's kind of like, whatever, you know? Like it's not a potato chip Reese's. That's important, because those are disgusting. Anyway, I guess I shared that story, just a little glimpse into the day in the life of young Sean. I think I said that part. I forget what the rest of that sentence was. I just ate that piece of candy bar. Like, hey, no big deal. No big deal. You don't have a sentence you're trying to finish at all. Why slow yourself down at all? You talk with your mouth full all the time. Okay. Now, we're going to jump in, and we're going to get into some of the... Oh, this one got a little melty. Or perhaps maybe it's just the jelly aspect of it. These have been sitting for not that long. I think let's see, we bought them on Wednesday, I guess. Wednesday, it's a Friday now. Not that big of a deal. Not that much of a difference. So, it's just a little, one of the parts, I got just a little bit much there. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh man. I'm going to need to buy about 40 more of these. Getting a very strong grape jelly scent out of this. There's a little bit of peanut butter in the middle. This one actually is kind of a benefit that it's broke like that, so you can see the division there. These are not breaking well at all. Is it grape? That was such a big bite. I am incorrect. And not just for talking with my mouth full. It's actually a raspberry filling. I got grape right off the bat. And then the second part I broke was a little more of a strawberry. But then I was like, oh, it's a red wrapper. I don't know if that's like kind of brand confusion, because this one's like blue. So if you had a purple, that might be like a little bit much. But raspberry, great pick. Huge fan of this candy bar. I love this. This is fantastic. I've already eaten half of it. Somewhat intentionally and partially unintentionally. It didn't break super weird. Did not slow me down from making you watch me chew for roughly 45 seconds. The artistic nature of this show continues to astound me at every moment. I hate David Fincher because I would make things just like him. I think that's who I'm thinking of. David Lynch. It might be one of them. Whoever made Twin Peaks. Where I read a thing of oh, there was a scene where someone was mopping, and I go, that's stupid. And then I think to myself, I'd do that. I would test the patience of my audience. And I do that every single week right here on Taste Test by just chewing way too much food. Way too much. That was way too big of a bite. I saw that it was too big of a bite. I heard my mom in the back of my head say, Sean, that's too big of a bite. And it didn't slow me down anyway. I sat there looking at myself in this thing going, people are going to have to watch this. You can't talk yet because your mouth is too full. Didn't stop me. Again. Powered right through it. Said 2 words. Went, this is unintelligible. Just chew some more. Both of these candy bars, by the way, are, but let's get to the roundup here. Both these candy bars are good. One of them is fantastic. I really like the chocolate, obviously, on both of them. The milk chocolate is delicious. I obviously prefer the filling and the taste of the peanut butter and jelly, just because that's a little bit more in my wheelhouse. I'm not against cookie dough necessarily, but I also don't love it, so it's kind of in that middle ground. Could have won me over, could have really lost me, but instead it's hey, this is pretty good, and if you like cookie dough, give this one a shot. If you think it's just kind of a fun idea, give it a shot. I don't think you're getting anything gross. I would recommend that everyone eats the peanut butter and jelly chocolate bar unless you have an allergy or you just physically can't. And which I understand. And I apologize. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm not trying to brag to you about how good this is. It's really good though. It's really, really good. What I should do, sequel idea. I should put these two together. Which is better, Trader Joe's or Hammond's? Is that a future episode of Taste Test? I don't know. You'll have to tune in to find out. Be sure to scroll down, subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always notified when I post new videos. New stuff goes up every single day at 6 a.m. Most of it is gameplay. That's between Sunday and Friday. Saturday is Taste Test, and then 7 p.m. is baseball. That's right, the baseball season is happening. It started last week, April 1st. So go back and enjoy me screaming incoherent curse words at digital baseball players because I don't know how to not swing. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next week. I'm going to eat the rest of this. So, goodbye.